Hello everyone, this is Aaron, I play Magic Too Much. Okay, I'm talking today about the Fateful Showdown, and what I want to show you is how to beat all the different nodes, each tier, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to show 3 videos. The first one is showing how to beat the first level of each of the 3 nodes, second video, second level of all 3 nodes, and third one the same. I did record this again, so if you've already seen this, this is a better copy, but if you already have the information, great. So let's go to, this is again the very first node, and it's the first battle. What we're trying to do here is win the fight in 6 rounds, hopefully less than that. I choose to use Nahari. A few decks you could use here. You could use Koth, which can go very, very fast, and you can use Nahari. I'm going to show you my deck here, but Koth would work well too. The reason I don't go with Koth as my primary one is that if there are no red matches for the first 3 turns or so, you're just not going to get it. You also need, and that's just not the one I use. You could use white and use deploy the Gatewatch. There's a few other things you can do, but this is what I choose to do, and that's why. This is the deck I used, and this is the Zoo deck that I've talked about. I really have lots of creatures so that no matter what happens, I have like a creature or 2 out right away. Reckless Bushwhacker is so important in this deck. It just speeds it up so much because you're getting first thing is you're getting +1 for every +1 attack for every creature already out, but also gives haste to that and anything else you cast on that turn. So we are fighting a battle that it's 53 points. So we got to do it in 6 turns. So assuming you don't get any points the first turn, you got to do an average of 10 from there on out. Obviously, you know, you're doing more damage each turn. The ability here is all construct creatures you control get +2/+2. Not a big deal, and they're going to move slow here too because they only have +3 overall. And the other thing is you are not worried at all about taking damage. You're just trying to get done in 6 turns, maybe get some flying or whatever, but to avoid this one defender. Actually, this is, I think, it's a 2/3 that they cast twice very quickly, and I think that a support gave it the defender. But this is a card you can look up. So on about the 3rd turn, this is what I had out, and again, the Reckless Bushwhacker is the one that did it for me. And then actually I used Nahari's 3rd ability there and made it the 24/24. Normally it would be a 4/3, I guess. So, but Nahari is good too because you can give all your creatures 4/4, and if you can do that on like the 4th turn, you can kind of get ahead. So that was my kind of kill shot. I did it in 4 rounds, and that's how I did it. Again, any fast deck's going to work. Koth is less consistent, but probably even does it faster in the right scenarios. And you can find the deck that works for you. But there's nothing to worry about in that deck from your opponent. And that's the kind of thing to remember. And that's what I think you can take away from the video, because we all have different decks and different cards to use. Okay, here we have the node number 2, first battle. And I'm going to put a thing down below that says what time each one of these starts, so you don't have to like go through so quickly, or just so you can come back and see it, or what time the 3rd one starts. What we're trying to do here is lose 1 or less creatures during a single fight. So let's think about that. How are we going to lose 1 or less? When I think about it, I want no defender. I want no reach. I want potentially flying, but not so important. I know because I've played it that they don't have anything with Berserker, or they don't have anything with Defender. So we're not too worried, but we just can't have any, we can't kill our own creatures on purpose, which would be a reach or defender. And again, we're playing against somebody with 95 points versus we average about 100 for any planeswalker you're going to use. So you're really, even if you end with 10 life points and you're just like in a race, right? It's not a big deal. So you don't need that defender to win, and that way you won't lose any points, any creatures, pardon me. Their ability is to disable the first creature your opponent controls until the beginning of next turn. Now, it costs 6, so they're not going to get it every turn. And green is crazy for them. So if I was to pick any deck, just seeing this screen, I would probably choose a green deck, because that means I'm doing the green matches. Me with Nahari, I'm doing red and white matches, and that's actually not the best because I'm leaving all the green out there for them to take, right? So just kind of thinking about it, there are some decks that would work with green also. The creatures they have that I'm worried about are right here, the Stomper. And so it's a 6/5, costs 14, so it's going to take them a few turns to get them out, assuming they don't match 2 or 3 greens at once. And they're going to gain a little bit of life. And actually, this went so quick for me. I had this, it's an 8/16 with First Strike, pardon me, with haste. And then I used Uncaged Fury. This is like the third turn, and I beat it. But you get the idea, though. If you get a deck that just don't kill your own creatures inadvertently, and you'll be just fine. They don't have any like black spells that are gonna take out your creatures. You just slow and steady. You can take some damage. You'll be fine. Their deck is slow, like I said, besides the green matches. So if you're matching green, you're ahead of the game. Okay, let's talk about the third one. This is the third node first match. And we are going to take 20 or less damage during a single fight. Now, this kind of objective is the very hardest for me to do personally, and I think everybody really, because it's not about you take 25 damage and gain 5 back. It's about not taking 20, period. So, what we want, or what I'm thinking about, is lots of defenders. The exact opposite. You want lots of defender, you want lots of reach, you want lots of kill creatures, you want things like that, so that whatever their offense is, you can stop it instantly. Now, it could be a blue, it could be return creature to hand, it could be a black, lots of zombies, that kind of thing. Could be a few different things. Could be any of the blacks. Could be Sorin. Black has all the kill creature cards. But you get the idea. You're just trying to take no damage. And if you have a good card with defender in green, I can't think of one right now. Or actually, think about white. You could do the white deck because the first ability with Gideon is to give your card defender. You're not going to take damage as long as you can get that going fast. So those are the kind of things you want to think about. Is you want to get defender out there and a few kill creatures, okay? Now, I'm choosing to go with Liliana for the reason I said about the defender. So I have the Colossus there, which is a nice defender, Prized Amalgam, which is a nice defender, especially with Oath of Liliana, so that every turn I have a defender, and it won't go away no matter what, because the Oath of Liliana is bringing it back. I also have things like Transgress the Mind in here, so that they're unable to cast as many creatures because, I see they have a 10 casting cost creature and they have 7 mana. I can get rid of that. So those are the kind of things I'm doing, is making it so they cast less. Shadows of the Past shouldn't really be in here. You can kind of see what my ideas were, though. And I have 3 kill creature cards in here, not including Fleshbag Marauder, so 4 cards, not including Oath of Liliana. So I have 5 of my 10 cards killing their creatures. And you can do the same. You can do it in any color, but you see that I'm really punching home this idea of getting that out. Now, they start with 218 life, and this is a creature they cast right away. I didn't get my screenshots instantly, but this actually got me for 11 because they cast 2 of them, and actually they cast 1. I couldn't kill it. Then they cast another one, and they have a lot of, I think Overlord came out or whatever, Overload. But they did 11 damage right away, and this is the creature they have. They are doing a lot with black and white. So actually, if you're thinking about that, Sorin is the card you want, because you can kind of, again, take their mana away from them, so they're forced to do green and red and blue, and Fabricate too. So their creature, this is bad for us, is going to be higher, and that's what happened. Is like, this creature is like a 4/4, let's say, but they'd fabricated so many times, and they can do it with 4, so that's, I don't know, every second turn. they fabricated so many times that their creatures are big instantly. So think about that when you're choosing your creature with Defender. Um, what's that? There's a Undergrowth Champion. I think that's it. The green one that just takes 1/1 if it gets damaged. That would work really well here too. So you kind of get the idea of how I do it and what kind of you can do in your own deck to do that. Here's another card they have in there, and when the support's on the board, energize 2, and then disable the first creature. So you can't just have one creature with reach. You gotta have two. You gotta kill their creatures. You gotta do something like that. This is what my deck came down to. Um, Obviously, I have a little bit of luck, and you can see that I have so many zombies, so I must have had Oath of Liliana, and the Colossus down there reflects that also. Oh, and actually, you can also see that that second card I have, the 12/12, that comes from a kill creature, and the second ability is to get a 6/6 with haste. So you can see that I killed at least two of their creatures, and that's kind of the idea. Now I did take 11, and that was on that from that first guy, but I did get all the points. So this is actually part of the next video, but I just want to show you what's out there and what to expect, and I hope that makes your job of creating the right deck easier. I know with all these events, you kind of need to tailor your deck to it every single hand. And if I don't know, like, their ability is to fabricate or if their ability is to destroy your support, it makes a big difference. So I hope this helps, guys. Thanks. Have a good day.